children's placed in their home, and we're continuing to work so that they have easy access to specific information that's related to them. So I'm trying to give you the highlights, but as you can tell, we've done a lot. And I'll just move on to strengthening families. We worked closely, again, with Medicaid on proposing to CMS a home visiting program. In a home visiting program, there's evidence-based, which means we track outcomes. When we talk about strengthening families, we serve over 6,000 children in-home cases. So many times people think about it's just about the cases that involve children in foster care, but we serve a lot, even more children in-home cases where the children are in-home, there's a true finding for abuse or neglect, but there was not immediate danger to remove them. And we have to strengthen our ability to work with those families, provide the services that are necessary to try and prevent the need for them ever coming into foster care. So one of the ways that we have done that is looking at the home visiting program, which is actually very innovative across the nation. Home visiting is not innovative. There's many home visiting programs, even in Arkansas and across the nation, but to use a federally funded program is innovative. And we have not gotten approval from CMS yet, but we're very close. We're hoping for it this week. We've gone through all the steps. And that would get someone in the home. The criteria to be eligible for home visiting includes our Garrett's Law baby. So if there was a baby born with a substance abuse, either mom or baby were positive, they would qualify for this home visiting program. So if we assessed and there was not immediate danger, they could be referred for home visiting. A home visiting professional, paraprofessional, would be in that home, working with the family, making sure that substance abuse was referred, making sure that the parent was displaying appropriate parenting skills, really hands-on training. We've also looked at our Nurturing Families program, which is our parenting program, also an evidence-based program, tracked outcome. That is a program that we had used and had very successful outcomes, but had not been able to expand further due to financial issues. We partnered with our nonprofits and are looking at expanding that program through volunteers, and have also worked with the Casey Foundation to pay for Train the Trainer so that we can roll out in-home parenting that's effective into other areas that we've not been able to put this parenting program in. And then with strengthening families, we developed a prevention unit, which has not been hired yet. But as you all know, going back from the Paul Vincent report, the need was to get our caseload down to a national average of 20. And when we talk caseload, we talk our whole caseload, not just foster care cases. We talk protective service cases, resource cases, the whole load. And so instead of just flooding the system with additional caseworkers, we wanted to do it in a more strategic way that would have an impact on stabilizing the system. And so we did do the numbers to get our caseloads down to 20, but in this first year, we will be hiring workers based on strengthening families, meaning from the top down, looking at hiring so that these people will be on the front end of the cases. They'll be doing investigation, protective service or in-home cases, differential response, which is another way that we respond to families in need without actually having an investigation, monitoring and tracking those particular systems. Currently at DCFS, we do not have one person other than me that's responsible for that front end, first level of cases. So we will start from the top down. There will be an assistant director who will supervise investigations, protective services cases, and the whole array of things I've mentioned, differential response. And so that we're not only focusing on that, but we're tracking and monitoring and making sure that we're making progress in that first area when we work with the family. And then our last bucket is strengthening our workforce, which I began to talk about. We did look at not just how do we add workers, not just how do we hire them in the first year, but also what do we need in addition to family service workers so that family service workers can do their jobs. And we did a couple of time studies related to workers and said, what are family service workers doing, and do we need additional workers, or do we just do we just hire family service workers or do we look at hiring others? And so as part of the proposal, as we move forward in the next couple of years and this year, we'll be hiring program assistants, which can do some of the copying and other responsibilities that do not take your family service worker. Transport, copying, clerical issues, preparing case files. And so those program assistants can come in, we have a better retention rate, and can come in and support staff. And so lastly, I'll just say that as part of strengthening workforce, we're looking at ways to not only do a better job of hiring and our practices around hiring, retain staff, and also looking closely at our supervisors and strengthening at the supervisor levels because we believe that strong supervisors help retain staff. And I have in no way covered everything in our report, but I wanted to just make sure that I covered the high levels. And I don't think that I have focused enough on the fact that the other divisions at the department and our partners have really come to the tables and looked at ways to help us. And I did not mention developmental disability services, but they have been a huge part in coming and looking at our children with developmental disabilities and figuring out how we can specialize our placement and treatment to those kids, which is something that we have never done before. So as an appendix to our report, and Senator Clark, if you allow, the second part of this is also looking at the Hornby Zeller report. And so would you like to move to that next?
Let's go to some questions first, and then we'll move to that. Okay. Senator Cooper.
Senator Ford, we recognize you. Let me interject and stop for a minute. I want to recognize a couple of members-elect that are in attendance today. I want to recognize Representative Jeff Williams. If you would raise your hand there, Jeff. He is a representative-elect. And then also we have Senator-elect Trent Garner. Trent, raise your hand if you would. And actually, Senator Garner will be coming on the JPR committee next time around. The House has not made their appointments yet. That's in the Speaker's determination after first of the year. So we want to recognize and welcome you two gentlemen to the meeting today. All right. Senator Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Going back to what you said about the true finding there a minute ago, that that does not automatically mean removal. Now, my sense in the past that that's pretty much been the case. Is that a change in direction, or is that what's the relationship now with the way it's been in the past?